What's going on, y'all? Today I'm going to show you how to play and set up Dixit. Dixit is a card game where you're going to be playing picture cards and you're going to try and have the other players guess what picture you're playing. You're going to be doing that by picking a picture card and saying what it reminds you of. It could be a movie, a cartoon, musical lyrics, and then everybody is going to try and guess what picture you chose. But you only want a few to guess the picture, not everybody. So I'll show you how to set the game up, and then we'll come back up here and I'll show you how to play. So to set the game up, every player is going to get 6 cards. Then they're going to get 4 tokens, numbered 1 to 4. This isn't a 4-player game. If you have a 5-player game, they're going to get 5 tokens, 1 to 5. 6-player game, it's 6 tokens from 1 to 6. Then you want to make sure the cards are within reach of all players. So the draw decks are both right here. Then all players will place their colored tokens on the start area. So to start the game, the active player is going to look at their hand of 6 cards. They're going to choose one of those pictures and say something that it reminds them of. So let's say I'm the active player. I'm going to look at my hand of 6 cards. I'm going to choose something and I'm going to say what it reminds me of. So I'm going to go with this card and I'm going to say it reminds me of Cinderella. So I will play it face down. Then everybody else will choose a card from their hand and play it face down. The second player would go, and they're also looking for something that reminds them of Cinderella. So let's say they chose this one. They're going to take it and they're going to play it face down. And it's the next player's turn. Third player will go, and they'll also look for something that reminds them of Cinderella. So we'll say they chose this one. They'll play it face down. And then the last player goes. So they would look through their hand and also look for something that reminds them of Cinderella. But sometimes you get a bad hand and, you can't really find anything. So we'll just go ahead and play this one. Even though it may not remind some people of Cinderella, maybe it reminds that person. It could also just mean that they actually have nothing to play and they're just going to play this one. So they play that face down. After all players have chosen their cards, they will give them to the active player, face down. The active player will take all of their cards, plus theirs, and shuffle them. Then he will reveal them face up into these numbers right here. So we will put this on number 1, this one on number 2, this one goes on number 3, and this one on number 4. And then each player will secretly choose a token that they think corresponds to the number that the active player's card is on. Once they have chosen their tokens, they will be revealed face up. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And they will be placed on the corresponding cards matching that number. So the 1 will go here, 2 will go here, and 3 will go here. And then the active player reveals their card and you score the round. So I would say that this was my card and it reminded me of Cinderella. And then you would score the round. The way you score the round is if all the players find the active player's card, they each get 2 points, but the active player gets 0. If no players find the active player's card, then the active player gets 0 points. Everybody else will get 2 points, plus 1 bonus point depending on whether or not anybody voted for their card. And lastly, if at least one person, but not everybody, found the active player's card, the active player would get 3 points. The person that found the active player's card would also get 3 points. And 1 bonus for every person that voted for their card. So we'll go ahead and score the round. So the green player put it on number 3, which was the active player's card. So the green would move forward 3, and their card was number 1. So somebody chose number 1, so they get an extra point. And then the active player, which was me, I would move forward 3 because one person got it correct. And then we see that somebody chose the second player's card. So they put their number here, and they chose their card. So they would get 1 point. And the final player wouldn't get any points because nobody chose their card and they didn't find the active player's card. At the end of the round, everybody will get their tokens back. You'll take the cards that were played and you'll put them in a discard pile. And everybody will draw back up to 6 cards. And play continues to the left. The end of the game happens if somebody gets to 30 points first or all the cards run out of the deck. So let me tell you rules for 3 players. The game is for 3 to 6 players. We did an example of a 4-player game. But for a 3-player game, everybody would draw 7 cards instead of 6. They would have 5 tokens numbered 1 to 5. And then instead of playing 1 card on their turn, they would play 2 cards. So the active player would go, play their 1 card face down, and then the second player would go, play 2 cards face down, and the third player would go and play 2 cards face down. They would all get shuffled, and play happens the same way. If you enjoyed watching this video, hit that like button and the subscribe button. Don't forget to ring that bell. I'll be posting more videos soon. Comment down below and tell me what you thought of this game. Thanks for watching The Other Board Gamer.